Hey everybody, how we doing today? So welcome to Sight Fishing 101 number 4, stopping. Now we've got a not so beautiful day here in the Florida Keys, but it's a perfect day to do one of these videos, so let's get started. All right, so we're going to be talking about stopping, and that means basically anchoring up in some sort of way. Now, I've talked about before, I would do probably 99% of the fish I catch are with the motor off, basically like that. I'm not using the motor when I'm fishing. I'd say about 95% of the fish that I catch are when I'm standing, all right? And then I'm gonna say probably 90% of the fish I catch are while I'm on anchor. And that involves working the mangroves, moving and looking, prospecting on the flats, all right? Rarely that 5 to 10% of the time is when I'll make a cast when I'm not anchored up. It has to be dead winds, almost dead calm, very little drift. I won't do it when I'm fly fishing. I won't do it when I'm trying to use a suspended lure. It would be casting with like a paddle tail or a top water bait that requires some action. That would be the only time that I would actually make a cast while I'm not on anchor and moving. Same thing when I'm throwing my cast net. I'd probably say 75% of the time I'm on anchor, and then I go ahead and throw the cast net. So very important being able to stop. Now let's say you hire a guide for the day. I would say about 40% or $400 of that $1,000 you're paying that guide to take you out flats fishing, backcountry, any sort of sight fishing is going to go towards their ability to stop, right? To use that big push pole to stop. And the reason for that is they want to put you as the angler in the best position to present your bait in the best possible way. So might be stopping so you don't spook the fish. It might be stopping so that you can put that fly or that bait out in that spot it needs to be, give you time to kind of get prepared, to be able to express the exact position he wants you to put that bait, to take some time to allow your eyes to adjust to see the fish so that you know what you're casting at, all right? And then for you to make that cast, but it doesn't end there, but also so that you can make the best presentation, okay? To stop it, to let it sink a little bit, to put a little twitch on it, okay? So those are the reasons that that guide is going to want to stop, get you in the best position to make your cast, make it so that you see where he's talking about. He wants you to see that fish or know the location where he wants you to put the bait, and then allow you to present that bait in the best possible way to get a bite. So that is 40% of what that guide's responsibility is to do. Now, the importance that I rated as very high. Now, you don't necessarily see this all the time on my videos, but it does pop up quite a bit. So as I'm kind of going down with the current or the wind, and I'll spot a fish, and then usually in my videos, like, okay, there's one right there. All right, then you'll see me kind of pan down away from the fish, and then I'm kind of doing something. Sometimes I'll show you dropping the anchor over the side, and then I come back up, and then I have the rod in my hand, and then either I'll continue and do the cast or whatnot, or I'll like, oh crap, where did it go? I lost it. And then sometimes you might think, well, why'd you take your eyes off? If you see it, why are you looking anywhere else? It's because I know calculated why that I could keep my eye on it, even grab the rod and make that cast, but I'll be moving and I know that presentation is going to be bad, versus taking my eye off of it, dropping the anchor over the side, stopping, and knowing that now I can make a very good presentation, and my odds of catching that fish are much better than not being stopped and knowing where it's at. So that's how kind of important it is, and that's why you'll see me do those quite often where I take my eye off the ball. It's a calculated reason, knowing that, yeah, I'm gonna maybe lose that fish, it's gonna swim off, I'm not gonna see it, but stopping is that much more important. All right, so stopping equipment that I use, I generally have 3 things. One is my paddle, and the way that I'll use that is if I'm actually needing that paddle to kind of scoot me around. A lot of times what I'll do, if I'm in soft silty stuff like this, I'll just stick that the paddle through one of my guidelines or my bungee cords here, or my little triangular stop where I'm using this as an anchor there, and then I'll just push that into the soft silt, and that's good enough for me. Okay, very quick, very efficient. The second way I use, which is probably my most popular, is I use my little mushroom anchor. This is a 10-pound one. I could probably get away with 5, but I like to make sure that when I'm going to stop, I'm going to stop. Then I have that short amount of anchor line, and then I've got it tied to my anchor trolley. So this allows me to slide that anchor up towards the front or all the way to the back. And then that gets me angles so that I'm in the correct casting position when I stop. A lot of times if I'm doing a lot of stop and go, I'll just have it right over the side so I could just grab that anchor, put it right back up, and then just keep moving along. And then finally, number 3, we've got my stakeout pole here, or semi-used as a push pole. This is my 8-foot fiberglass, 3/4 inch. And I use it like I'm using it now. I just kind of just shove it in the sand. I've got my little triangular base here that I could do it, which is my most mainly used. Otherwise, I could use the bungees on the sides of the handles, or I could just put it through the hole where I tie my anchor to, and have that trolley capabilities. So those are my 3 basic equipments I use for stopping. So we're drifting along the mangroves here, checking out all the bait. Got a lot of little glass minnows here. Spot checking the under the mangroves here. The water's a little bit higher, but not too bad. So hopefully we'll find something sticking out from these little under pockets here. The wind is blowing from my back, so I'm not having to really pedal or paddle or anything. Oh, that little rainbow reef fish there. That's a pretty big one for big little chunker dude. But that's kind of what we're looking for, just different species. But the wind is just pushing me along, so I'm not having to really do anything, which is nice. Very stealthy, no paddles in the waters, no clanking around. There's more of them. Convert those to redfish and then I'd be happy. So let's see what we got here. Now for my anchor, basically what I do is once I get to a section that I'm going to be working, I take a look at the depth of the water, the siltiness of it, since the anchor is going to sink a bit. Then I'll just make the length of the anchor to my stop just a little bit higher, so I don't want a lot of slack, but I want a little bit of flex room just in case there's current. So I'm going to lock it off. So I have a little clip there that once I attach it to, it basically stops it. And then I attach that to my ring here. I've got this kind of a rope adjustable anchor trolley, so I could have it set up at different points so that my stopping angle is correct. In this instance, I kind of want it towards the back, but I don't want it too far back where I can't reach it right away. So this is going to be a lot of stop and go, so I just want it just right over to the side, not a ton of current. How I stop is not that important, but then being able to grab it and lift it right back up really quickly. So that is good to go. Now for this specific stretch, I know it's very silty down here. There's a lot of silt buildup, so I could stop myself and anchor myself using my basically push pole fiberglass anchor there. And then the way I stick it is I have this little triangle which supports my outrigger, but I could just throw it in there and then that'll stop me. Again, not a lot of wind, not a lot of current, not a lot of pressure. I've got really soft bottom, so I know that'll stick. If you're on a lot of other areas, it's the hard bottom, you're not sticking anything into that, so I have to default to the anchor. Because I'm just needing something, I'm not even needing the paddle, I'm just going to use this to push me around and keep heading in the correct direction though. And then when I need to stop, I could either just throw it in between my handle bungees there and stop really quickly, or I could do like I usually do, is just drop it like that and then I'm stopped. All right, right there's a tarpon. He's just hanging out just right by that edge there. See him there? Has no clue we're here. I'm staying far enough up. Oh, he gulped. He's happy. All right, so he's slowly heading that way, so I'll keep drifting. So we're gonna wanna ambush him. I'm keeping an eye on him. Now this is a perfect example of why the anchoring is so important. I don't even have any rig. Oh, I got a schminnow. Okay, I still see him there. Now you can see I'm moving. Not really fast, but I'm still moving. He's moving. So we've got two moving objects. Then I'm gonna try to throw my little jig in front of him and then try to be able to, okay, I'm gonna stop here. Like that. Not too commotion. So he can go under there. I want to stop because you've got just too much movement going on. Then when you add in throwing your, casting your lure, and then working that lure and trying to get the correct movement on it. Maybe you want to suspend it, maybe you wanted to move it, but to add that to the variables of you moving, the fish moving, the current moving, the wind moving, the drag on your line, the casting, okay, it's just too much, and it makes it very difficult to do a good presentation. Yeah, so he's disappeared in there. All right, but by stopping, okay, I give a couple of variables. One, I could track him easier, I could plan my plan of attack. Casting is easier since I'm not moving, all right, so I could pinpoint my cast a lot better, take my time, and then once I've got the lure where I want it, okay, my line is controllable. I'm in line with it. If I was moving, then all of a sudden I've got a slack, I've got the bow in it, the current's taking the line, and so forth, and it's a lot less manageable. So that's a key reasons why we want to be able to stop. Yeah, he's went in there. I imagine he's, oh, I see him way over there. He's crossing that divide. All right, I'm gonna get us moving. Yeah, he's just cruising that shoreline. That's why, another reason why the lower tide is better, because it doesn't allow them to get way deep in there. But here's an example of I'm moving, I've got all this slack built up. It's hard to control it because I'm moving forward, I'm reeling, but it's not changing any movement on the lure because I'm going closer to it. So I have to adjust that by going a little bit faster on my reeling. And again, it's just not, now I've got a little bit of a bow, so that's going to take it into play. Now I'm not going to get that good vertical movement. I'm going to get some weird horizontal pull from it. All right, nope, that's not one. I thought I saw one there. I have a feeling he's just working all the way across there. He's probably up past here. Go slow though. Where there's one, there might be more. There he is right over there. So he's doing like I said, he's just, oh, come on. Let's see if we can, oh, that's in front of him. That kind of stopped him. Oh, there's a bunch of bait in there. He's on a evening stroll. He's right along the shade underneath him now. He's gone past it. There, he's coming out. He's angling out. Okay, I'm gonna try to bring it right past him. He's swimming towards it. Can't see him now. Nope. he's angling that way, so he's just like, ah, such a beautiful day for a stroll. Not hungry, not interested in anything else but just cruising along. I still see him there. All right, that'll get us a bit closer. All right, this is what I don't want to do. All right, I'm gonna try to slow us down and stop us. You can see him right there. Gotta get him. He's going under the tree now. I know he's seeing it. He's just not interested in anything. He doesn't have a care in the world. All right, we'll go around him. I'll snag him with a CUDA tube. I got the clouser on my fly rod. It's not a bad option. All right, we got to get ahead of this guy and then try to drop anchor and then do a very good presentation right on his nose. All right, I moved out past this spot where he's probably underneath there. I haven't seen him come out. I'm going to drop the pole anchor there. I'm a little close, but he's so oblivious to everything. Oh, there he is right there. Right there. And let it stop, man. Get right on it. Oh, he turned. Oh, he's looking at it. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, I'm in my... I stopped. I'm not gonna move. Okay. He just wanted to play with it. Now he's gonna go back to his... All right, I think he saw it that time. This is why I need the Schminnow. Oh no. I think he might have got onto us. God dang it. Yeah, I think he's kind of, I know what you're doing. This is where I needed the Schminnow. It's top water, and then I could stop it. This, even though it's a small fly, it sank. And then he was going right along the bottom, just nipping at it, but it would have been better if it was up on top, and then he would have been like more aggressive about it. But that's how we do it. Sorta. Oh, that was pretty good action. Not even 50 foot from the dock, just launched. But got a good example, found that tarpon, was able to stalk it this whole way, got multiple shots on it, and really good shots. I was 15 foot away from it. But that's kind of how that importance of the drift, but also that control, being able to stop, being able to ambush it, get everything prepared, do a nice, very, very sensitive cast, work it really slowly, versus trying to just kind of whip it and then dealing with slack and current and your boat moving and all those variables. I was able to just stop, take away all those variables, get everything organized except switching over to a Schminnow, and then being able to make some nice casts at that tarpon. So that's exactly how important that kind of technique using these anchor systems are. Now you also have to remember there's a distinct difference between just basically skip casting into these mangroves, just basically blind casting pockets. So you don't know if a fish is there, you're just kind of casting to structure. Oh, there's one right there. There he is. Anchor goes down. All right, he's sitting right over there. That long dark thing there. God, I wish he was going the other way. All right, he's right there. Oh, there he goes. Gosh dang it. Oh, right on top of him. Man, he is just Mr. Getting too many skip casts. He's lying right back in there. Right there. Oh, where'd he go? Can't see him now. He's probably going to pop up over here somewhere. That's why I like that fly. It's highly visible. It sits on top. Tarpon are up eaters. It gives them a little bit more time to be able to check out the bait. See, he can go way up under there and I won't see him. Yeah, actually the other problem was now it's sitting correctly. Before I threw it out there, it was sitting on top of the water because it was dry and I haven't thrown it yet. And all right, but we're stopped. We got 5 great shots at that fish. And yeah, it's all about the anchoring. Otherwise I would have been all the way over there trying to cast at him. He's going the opposite direction, and then there's no way that you can get a good presentation. So especially with a fly, okay, because you can get looped up very easily. You get the slack, plus you get the current blowing on it, you got the wind blowing the other way, and it's just a mess. But here this way, if I could have got a little bit better presentation, I could have worked it just perfectly. I just saw another one tail over there. I don't know if it's the same one and he just scooted back the other way around, but it just rolled there. I don't see him now. Oh, I think I see his body. He's going directly in there. All right, so that's a different one. Let's move on up and see if we can get in front of him and drop the anchor and get some shots at him. All right, so I'm stopped here. I was using my push pole, but then I just kind of stuck it and I'm just holding on to it. Don't have too much current or wind. The reason why I want to stop here is because I have angles, so I could see kind of at the end of this, and then I could see an end over there to see if that fish comes out. He's not swimming in this outer sides, but he'll pop out on those 2 edges there. So I'm going to try to see if I can wait him out. It's got to be somewhere in here. Unfortunately, they can go pretty far back in. Yeah, definitely not the best day to be doing some side fishing, but I was just expecting to do the stopping video, so I'll take those couple of tarpon I got to use for test models. That worked out good, but now I'm going to use my stopping power to go underneath the bridge and hang out there until these storms pass over. Now we're in this channel. It's deeper water, so I'm just going to lay out some extra line here. Probably 1.5 to 2 times the depth. My kayak doesn't pull very much drag, so I don't need as much archway there. Clip it to the side again, and then when I want to stop, just drop it over the side. And I've got about 3 foot of slack, and then now I'm anchored up. Gonna do a little bit of CUDA tubing, see if there's any cooters around this area. So I did a few fan casts in this area, so I'm ready to move on. Just grab the anchor there. Since it's a mushroom, it just plants itself. It doesn't hook anything on the bottom. There we go, and then I just go up, move up to another spot, fan drop the anchor and fan cast. Again, if I don't have the anchor, I'm moving and I can't work. Even though it's a broad area, I'm not very specific about how I'm casting because I'm moving 20 feet up the next cast and I'm missing a whole bunch of areas. So in order to work this side really well, I have to anchor so I can get 3 casts per section. Move, 3 casts, move, 3 casts. So this is another good reason to have the anchor set up. I can drop it. I saw a bunch of pilchards in this kind of zone here. I still needed to prep my net to get it ready, and then I need to set it up on my arm and then kind of drift through them. If I didn't have the anchor, I'd be all the way to the bridge right now, run over them, scattered them. So right now I'm just kind of waiting for the sun to come out so I can kind of see where the bulk of them are. I saw them kind of swimming that way, so I think they're out there somewhere. But now I've got the net ready. I can let the anchor up and then let me slowly drift over there to them. Probably drop the anchor again just on the edge of them and then prep and throw. All right, I found them over here. Drop the anchor. I want to throw on them, but I don't want to get stuck in the rocks. Oh, they're behind me here, so that's okay. If I can get them to pull up, that'll be even better. All right, let's throw on them. I think over here is best. Well, there you go. It's all about the stopping. Well, today's video was supposed to be just a quickie 5-minute video, just me basically telling you stopping, it's important. But I didn't want to film it just talking in the studio like this, so figured I'd do it on the water. It's going to be a crappy day, rainy and stuff, so I just go out there, do my quickie couple minutes, and then that would be the video. But then for whatever reason, Mother Nature is all, hey Steve, let's help you there. Then sent out tarpon after tarpon. And then I ran into kudas, then I ran into pilchards, then ran into more tarpon. So it was like this whole day of just like, man, this is an excellent fishing day. But then it also dawned on me is that I was using that anchoring and stopping so much that I was just like filming, doing all these different steps. Really how important it is to be able to stop so you get that really good presentation. And 5-minute video turned into 30 minutes of basically fishing and chasing after fish. I have another video that'll come up next that shows that day of all the stuff that I was doing, but more just for the fishing side of it. But the key takeaway I want to make sure people understand is for the sight fishing in particular, okay, it's different than just going out there and blind casting, random, just fan casting, and just thinking that there might be fish somewhere out here, and if I put the lure out there enough times, I'll run into one. Okay, the sight fishing we're talking about is, just like today's video is, we're seeing those fish, and they're not seeing us, and we have the full luxury of time to get into the position that we want, have the right rod set up, the right lure set up, the bait set up, okay? Identify where that fish is going so we can put the bait in front of them, and then know, do we want to just sit it there? Do we want to twitch it? Do we want to start bringing it in? Okay? And all those things are only possible if we're not drifting away from where the fish is. And that all comes down to that anchoring and how important it is when you're sight fishing, because that's the key is, we're beyond looking for the fish. We're going to find the fish. We found the fish. And then the anchoring part gets us a better chance to catch that fish. Okay, so the sight fishing really helps out, gets us into the really deep into the game, but then we want to manipulate those odds by doing these kind of things like the stopping and being able to be prepared and giving our best presentation as possible. So very important stuff. Hopefully you liked the video, maybe learned something from it. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you next video. Bye.